All right, at the same time, the Kenya University Staff Union, Kusu, has rejected proposals to shut down and merge some universities. Kusu Secretary General Dr. Charles Mukwaya is blaming Education CS Professor Prof Magoha of failing to consult them before issuing the directive.
Professor Magoha recently summoned all the vice-chancellors from public universities in what was to set the stage for major reforms, including closure of some institutions. Here is Mukwaya with that story.
Professor Magoha's suggestion and willingness to conduct what he has previously described as a painful and radical surgery in university education is now a subject of concern to the Kenya University Staff Union. That some public universities are only days away from closure, with an intention of scrapping off several academic programs, only a reason for an urgent intervention.
You know, the sections of the law of this country envisages that every county will have a university. So even by dint of that suggestion alone, perhaps the cabinet secretary is controverting the law. The cabinet secretary is sitting in Jogo House and spewing decrees as if this country is not governed by laws. No, it's not right.
Dr. Mukwaya is perturbed as to why the same government that allowed for the creation of these universities, besides facilitating the opening up of several other satellite campuses, now wants to shut them down. The construction of some of those higher learning institutions such as Bomet and Mama Ngina is underway, with some students having already been referred there.
It is true that standards may have fallen in some of these institutions, but the reason is that the same government has abandoned these institutions. Instead, what the government is doing is funding private universities. Is it maybe because some operatives within the government own these private universities and therefore they don't care about what the poor man's child who comes to public universities is going to find himself in? Could it be the case?
Most public universities have been grappling with finances, and there are reports that some lecturers and staff in some universities have missed basic allowances for several months. While vice-chancellors were tasked to come up with solutions on reducing cost, the Commission for University Education is expected to table a report on the merger of universities and scrapping of some courses at the end of this month. Kusu has also rejected the proposal to employ workers on contract terms. According to the union, employment terms is a negotiable item provided for in the collective bargaining agreement. Despite acknowledging that some universities in the country could be facing some bit of challenges, doing away with some of them and scrapping some courses, they say, is not going to provide a permanent solution, demanding that Professor Prof Magoha should engage them directly. Mukwaya, Citizen TV, Nairobi.